Social Justice Goblin, welcome to the outside. Yeah, you got the beautiful annoying light. So, I want to talk about the Abner magazines. So when I was a teenager, I didn't get to watch much wrestling. All I got was WWF Superstars, and even that vanished after Sky went. So I went through a wrestling drought. I remember coming to the States. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. So the way I got my wrestling news was through wrestling magazines, PWI, Interest Illustrated, and The Wrestler, and some of the other. I would buy a ton of wrestling magazines, and I loved wrestling magazines because it kept me in the loop what was going on in America. Living in Holland, it was hard to, get updates and to find out and get to be part of the wrestling. To be a wrestling fan was really hard, but I got it through the wrestling magazines. Those things were incredible. But the thing is Pro Wrestling Illustrated is kind of kayfabe. It has kind of evolved past. Now it admits it's a work. But I don't read Pro Wrestling Illustrated much. If I read anything for my news for wrestling, I read the PWTorch.com because that's the inside sheet. So you'll hear the industry people always complain about PW Torch because he always puts in inside information, but he doesn't quite know everything. He has a bunch of contacts in the wrestling business and he asks questions, so he has his little spies everywhere. And I think the Abner magazines, so why I call them Abner magazines is because that's the nickname in the industry for those types of magazines, is a decent source, but it's hard for me to get magazines, and I get cigar magazines and I don't read them because I just don't have time. I really don't pay attention to wrestling news as much because, impeachment, it's consuming my free time. And also I have other activities like poetry reading and stuff like that I do. But if you really want to get good wrestling news, check out pwtorch.com. Subscribe. They really have good inside knowledge. And maybe check out the Abner mags, and that will keep you in the loop of what's going on behind the scenes. And that's the fun part about wrestling that I find enjoyable, is getting an insight. And if you need just insights about how the old days worked, when kayfabe was real, listen to the Jim Cornette show. He does 2 podcasts, Thursday and Mondays. Obviously this week he's kind of out because he, when he gets out sometimes because he's got to work sometimes, but he's really great. I love listening to his podcast. It's like an insider because Jim Cornette broke kayfabe. All right, that's just my 10 cents.